Whether you see it or not, the big issue that every American citizen faces today is not a left or a right issue. It's not even a black or a white issue. This has everything to do with power over the people issue. We have already found the shadow on the floor. We don't need to find those hiding behind blinds anymore to see what's going on. If we could truly separate ourselves from who we voted for and step away from whatever side we are on and examine it and take into consideration that if we're not out speaking and questioning what they're doing, or better yet, seeing what they're doing but staying silent about it, we're not going to win. They're going to continue to come after all of us. Eventually, we'll continue to bury that wedge between us, causing us to defeat one another. So if we're not speaking up, we already lost our freedom of speech. We the people, each and every one of us, we need to band together and remove that wedge that they put between us. Nobody's going to do it for us except ourselves. I live in Texas, and I have reached out to Ted Cruz so many times. Not one returned call or an email back. His voicemail is always full, or it's never deleted. We the people have the answers to what's going on. We have information that needs to be shown, and answers need to be given. So why is it that those that we're supposed to trust and who say our vote is our voice, but they're not listening to us? They don't even want us heard, because they know we the people bring the truth. But first, we the people have to band together and put away all of our differences and suck it up. Admit when we're wrong. Don't gloat when we're right. It's simple. Don't be a jerk. It's not that hard. But if you truly want to continue living in a country that's free, if you truly want to live in a country that has all the freedoms that we have always had, then we need to get over whatever fear that the government has put in us or made us believe, because that's what they want you to be. They want you to be in fear. They want you to see everybody in jail. They want you to see the power they have over the people, because that's what they want inside of you, that fear. They want the fear of something happening to you or your family, because you spoke up and disagreed with what they say or do. And if you're not speaking up, if we're not speaking up, and you know you should be, they have already silenced our voice, because we're not standing up and letting our voices be heard because of fear. So let's get over that fear and speak up. So what have they done? They've taken it away from us. They've taken that freedom of speech. They've allowed mainstream media to carry on with the narrative that's 100% a lie. So what should the consequences be for those that lie and put a wedge between the people? I have sent messages, as many others have, to the J6 committee to bring the people in and let us testify. Let us show them what we have uncovered. Let them investigate what we have found. But they won't do it because they're part of the problem. I mean, my gosh, the J6 committee authored a book together that's been available for pre-order since April, with the release dates around September 13th. Then last month it changed to October 18th, and now it has changed again and set to be released November 29th. Their release date changes the same way their stories do. If it's not working, they change it on the fly and make up something else. That's not all they extended, because the committee hearings have been extended into October now. Is their ending changing? They have already been caught manipulating videos twice now. And the J6 committee also lied about violent walkie-talkie recordings and got caught again. What have they not been caught on yet? I know 3 other big lies told to the J6 committee, and I'll come out with that soon. We also have prosecutors doing exactly what they did to one man in 2008 and was found guilty on all counts. But in 2012, an investigation found that the prosecutors concealed documents that led to false statements, charges against Senator Ted Stevens. That not only caused the longest-running Republican senator at the time to lose his Senate seat, but it tipped the balance of power in the United States Senate. Sound familiar? Because what happened to one man back in 2008 is happening to hundreds of American citizens right now. And if they could do that to a senator, what do you think they could do to us? That's why so many of us have done our investigations, because we want the truth. At M5 News, I take a simple approach before I release anything. I always ask myself, show me proof, and then I back it up with video evidence, not manipulated in any way. And when I release it, I always let you know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to show you what I want you to see, but I am going to show you what they don't want you to see. Just so everyone knows, this is a clip that's taken from an analysis done that'll be released soon. on the new Prisoners podcast, so stay tuned for that. It's also the work of Gary McBride and M5 News that took place January of 2021. That totals 37 minutes of video evidence. Before I knew what his name was, I nicknamed him Q-Shirt. That's Doug Jensen. You saw the green smoke there also. There's a lot going on through here. It's search number 2, but this gentleman in front of us with the United States flag cowboy hat on is who I wanted to point out. See Doug Jensen in the background by the doors and cowboy hat. See signal guy to the right. See the shadows in the doorway. Doug Jensen could have let them in, but he didn't. This is normal speed. I'll slow it down for you. See his hand circled up. Come back, be twiddling his thumbs. Stretch his arms out to his side. Now here on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see the photographer turn around to take Q-Shirt's picture. How did the photographer know that Q-Shirt was coming? Takes his picture. Now nobody moves off that imaginary line until he shows up, and then when he gets to the threshold, that's when everybody follows him and pulls up. Now watch Doug Jensen come in on the bottom right. You see the arrow point at him, and his head is on a swivel. Now watch as these guys go through the window. You'll see who's experienced to go through and who's not. Geeshwine coming up on the left, he's not experienced. Signal guy on the left, he is experienced. Pizzola on the right is not experienced. Now watch as these guys start going through who are experienced or not. Here goes Jensen on the left, he's in. Now as they come through here, thankfully Stacey Plaskett provided this for us in the second impeachment hearing. But when they come through, you'll see Q-Shirt come in, and he'll make a beeline straight to where he needs to go. He knows exactly where he's going, with Kevin Seafried with the Confederate flag following behind him. There he goes, and there he goes. This is the picture they showed us. This is the one that I found. See the officers back in there? This was the allowed break-in. There's Cowboy holding back Q-Shirt. There's the podium Cowboy was at, and the doorway in the background where Doug was at. Remember what was happening in other areas around the Capitol that day with police officers and protesters. Here you have a photo op, the dramatic scenes, and adding smoke to it. Doug on the left letting other people get their photo opportunities. This is what they saw when they came in. Look at the photographers and the police in the background. Let me show you 2 more pieces of evidence.
Behind these rioters and just feet away, where lawmakers and Senate staff are now fleeing, just one officer stands guard.
We've already showed you Cowboy holding back Doug Jensen. And lawmakers and Senate staff being guarded by 1 police officer.